Good morning. I'll be with you in a minute or so. Good morning. This is Tom HOUGAARD. I hope you're well. It's Tuesday, the 29th of April, 2025. And I'm just getting the screen all ready. So just wanted to show you the Australian index and the school run effect. It means you went long here. In Japan, the Nikkei. So notice the difference between the Nikkei and the ASX is that the Nikkei opens inside the range, and it basically means you would contemplate being a buyer down here and doing the anti, as opposed to the ASX, which is breaking out of the range here. We can do this in the Hang Seng as well. Hang Seng opens at 230. So there you go. Strange spike, but long above. And short below. I think I would have to spend some serious time studying the Hang Seng before I started trading that. Anyway. Let me get this ready. reason why I'm opening more charts of them is because I have several screens, and I use this screen that you see here as the one where I stream to you so that you can see what I'm doing. But then I'll have the same screens. I'll have the same charts on another, so that it's possible for me to I've just been told that one of the grandfathers of technical analysis, Jim Dalton, has listed my book, Best Loser Wins, on his recommended reading list. That's an honor. Thank you, Jim, if you ever hear this. Which you probably won't. Still. Okay, it's nearly there. Yesterday I started taking a screenshot of the trades that I did, and I posted them sort of live as they were happening. What I will do is I will collect them in a PowerPoint or PDF, and then I'll put some words to them, and I'll publish them. I think that will be a good learning experience. Alright, so let's look at the overnight range. It's been a relatively tight range in the DAX overnight, and it looks like we are opening just outside of this trading range. If I was just by myself, I would probably take a long position betting that we were going to go higher. The DAX closed at 22,271. So what we have here is a gap up situation, and we are opening in about 30 odd seconds. The FTSE, here we go, here's the open. The FTSE closed at 8417, so as a bit of a gap, but nothing spectacular. You're probably already aware of this, but it is earnings season, and that earnings season is, I think, as all earnings seasons are probably really important, but this one with the tariffs is probably one of those that is being paid close attention to regarding guidance. So the first thing I'll do is check what kind of first 5-minute bar we're going to get in the FTSE. So in case you didn't hear that, but when the DAX opens so close to the range, to the upside of the range, in a gap up situation, and you have an immediate high over here, it tends to mean that the DAX wants to push higher off the open. It's difficult to trade because you're kind of being asked to execute a trade basis on momentum pre-market and in conjunction with what you're seeing yesterday's close to be. And I think the trickiest part about it is to manage the risk. So, well, if you're wrong, how much heat can you take? Okay, so it looks like we're going to have a first bar negative. Remember that the FTSE closed at 8417. Let me just show you. That's here. So it looks like it could be a first bar negative setup. That bar closes in approximately. Ooh, Jesus, what was that? By the way, for my friends in Spain, I hope you're okay. That was some nasty business you had to go through yesterday. So for all intents and purposes, the FTSE has filled the gap. Yeah. And buyers stepped in. So let's see what kind of bar we have. Here in the FTSE, it's a first bar positive. I'm afraid they haven't had a very good track record of late. Excuse me. Jesus, that's my belly. Stand by in the FTSE for a long position. I decided to do the opposite. So maybe that's the time where the first bar negative, first bar positive is actually working. Damn. Stand by for a long position in the DAX. I wanted it to come down to around 60. It went down to 72. My stop loss is not in a good place, but I have to accept that. It's right down here. So far we have an inside range after the first 5 minutes. can see FTSE is not looking good. I want to be a buyer down here then, around 72. FTSE is gonna challenge my stop loss here at 97. I'm buying the DAX here. I'll add to my DAX here. Hmm. I'm going to remove the add-on. I removed the add-on. Still an inside bar on the 15-minute. I think I want to close half my FTSE position, reduce my exposure. I think I was lucky not to get stopped out. Let's see. It's still an okay position. Let's look at the DAX. Okay, I can move stop loss to break even. Would you excuse me for 1 second, please? Thank you for your patience. I don't regret closing half in the FTSE. It was some money management issue. I consider myself having placed a stop loss with. That was in an extremely precarious situation. Do you see that? Who puts a stop loss 2 ticks above the low? And that's what I had done. It should have been down here, if anything, or down here, but because of the stake size, I always usually just use a relatively fixed amount. I would love to actually move the stop loss. Oh, but let's just keep it where it was. So, as you can see, and that makes it a bit of a precarious trading environment, but you have a 5-minute bar that so far has defined the trading range for the morning, and the ensuing 1, 2, 3, 4, and now the 5th 5-minute bar is trading within the confines of that first 5 minutes. That obviously is already suggesting a trading range environment. That usually gets, this high will get challenged. Please don't read it like that. I don't know what's going to happen, but the pattern will suggest that this high will get challenged. But frequently it can last all morning before it gets challenged. So I have decided to place my stop loss at break even. When you place a stop loss to break even, you're not placing it strategically. You're just saying, I'm not losing on this position. And if I am being honest with myself, I think I will get stopped out of that for nothing. Because this market just seems to suggest that we are bobbing up and down in a trading range, which was also why I closed the second position I had added, my adding to the winner. I just felt that this market wasn't supportive of a momentum move as I had hoped. So if I look at the 15-minute chart, I now got the joy of having an inside bar as my school run bar, something that I am not overly fond of. Unless it breaks to the upside. Which means that I have a long position at 91, 92. It's currently trading at 80. So it's plausible, but the 5-minute bar would suggest otherwise. So let's look at the account. Right now the FTSE is not doing anything and the DAX is retreating. Do you see that? How it looks really bullish, but sellers are coming in immediately up here around the 390 area, stopping a breakout. These are the kind of mornings where I do like to scalp these mornings, not on YouTube, but for myself. And it may very well turn out to be one of those mornings where I'm just going to get stopped out and I'll just call it, say, yeah, this is, I could be sitting here for the next 2 hours waiting for a breakout. You may say, why don't you just take 15 points in profit? Well, because I'll give it the benefit of the doubt for a little while longer. But if I get stopped out here in the DAX, it'll just conclude to me that we are in a somewhat of a trading range environment this morning. And then I'll just say, I'm sitting the rest of this out. Yeah. Well, that's sort of, that solved that one for me. In a way, I'm so glad that these things gets recorded, because otherwise it's a lot more difficult to teach. But up here, moments ago, it looked like, oh, it looks really bullish. But you have to respect the inertia of the market. When it's telling you this looks like a trading range, then it's the odds favor that it will continue to be a trading range. And that's exactly what has just happened. So the DAX has actually triggered a school run short now conventionally, but it's an inside bar. And that makes me a lot more suspicious of it. So I think what I want to do is I just want to say, look, this was a short session, but we are in a gap up situation. I rather sit this one out. FTSE, I've reduced my stake size here. I think I got out with 0 on the first half, and I'll let that run. Just so you're clear that the when it's an inside bar, but in a gap up situation, the anti will kick in the DAX, meaning that one should be a buyer below 363, especially supported by the trading range environment price action on the 5-minute chart. So you get rewarded in a trading range to do the opposite. It doesn't feel nice. It didn't feel nice to be a seller here. And it certainly doesn't feel nice to be a buyer here. So yeah, I think I'll, there are days where you just want to get tucked in there and you want to ride a trend and keep adding to it. And then there's days where it takes a different kind of mindset, where you have to be more contrarian. So I'll sell the top of the range, buy the bottom of the range. So I'm going to leave it at that for this morning. I'll be back for the US session. If I see anything, I will post it on Telegram, but volatility has certainly died down again. That's for sure. All right, well, look, this was a short and sweet session, just 30 odd minutes, a couple of trades. Let me just see what it looks like here. You have, I got out of break even on the add-on, got out of not quite break even on the half the FTSE. Obviously a 1 point slippage there in the DAX, and my FTSE position, some of it still riding on a first bar negative, which was actually a first bar positive. So yeah, that's it. I'll close shop and I'll update you via Telegram. Thanks a lot for this short and sweet morning, and good luck to you if you decide to trade this trading range. It's wonderful to trade trading ranges, but perhaps not really what I want to display here in this channel. All the very best. Here's a status. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.